Thank you so much for staying here on News Desk. Now, the head of the GRA Customs Division Preventive Unit at the Tema Port, Joseph Opoang-Boaji, says a gun dealer who imported about 1,500 pump-action guns has the necessary permits to import the arms. Briefing the media after a joint inspection by security personnel, he allayed the fears of the public, saying there is no cause for alarm. He further stated there are people licensed to import specific guns. Now, the freight forwarder who worked on the consignment explained that per the information on the bill of lading, customs officials at the scan unit had some suspicion. Hence, they stopped the container for further investigation.
To import these items, he has it. So we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with him. We are not bothered about this examination and all that. We're not bothered. So that is all there is to it.
From which institution?
Do the permit come from the Ministry of Interior, headquarters, or police headquarters, everybody who are involved, all stakeholders. They are all involved. So we send letters to BN everybody so that we can get these things out. That is all.
Is it the first time you're importing items like
this? The importer will decide. I say I can tell you. The importer,
is it the first time the importer is bringing in items like this?
He has the permit, so I can tell you. Yeah.
So how many are you able to tell us the number of pump action guns you told?
No, I can't tell you. They have done the examination. So the police and the BN, and you yourself were there, so you know what actually happened there. When you are doing this examination, you don't feel comfortable. But I was very confident that the importer has every document to take delivery of all these things. So I was very confident. I was not bothered at all. You know, that is all there is to it.
It's not the first time that.
Now, in March this year, when I spoke to the board chairman of the Small Arms Commission, Professor Paul Frimpong-Manso, he confirmed that Ghana has actually been used as a transit to supply arms in the SAP region. Now, we know the Small Arms Commission, among others, is to advise on the issue and possession of small arms and light weapons. Let's get onto their homepage on their website for more on what they do. They're supposed to set in place programs of action to prevent, combat, and eradicate the illicit trade in arms and light weapons. They're also supposed to educate and sensitize the public and provide information on the dangers of small arms and light weapons in order to discourage their illicit production and circulation, ensure that obligations under the Economic Community of West African States are complied with, advise the Minister for Interior on the formulation of policies and strategies as contained in the ECOWAS Convention of Small Arms and Light Weapons and any other relevant international conventions to which Ghana is a party or has acceded to. Receive and study periodic reports from the Ghana Police Service on the registration and licensing of arms and perform any other functions related to the objectives of the Commission. Now, I'm joined on the telephone now by the Programs Manager of the Small Arms Commission, Mr. Johnson Asante. Thank you so much for your time here, Mr. Asante.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, though the police has said that whoever imported these guns has the license to do so and is going to use it for private purposes, there are many Ghanaians who are concerned, one, about the number of arms, 1,500 pump-action guns. Now, the last time I spoke to the board chair of your commission, he did admit that there are many guns in the system not being used necessarily for illegal purposes, but have not been licensed. Does this news come as a worry to you? 1,500 pump-action guns for private use?
Right. Thank you very much for having me. I'm not too sure about that aspect, private use. However, there are commercial dealers that are licensed to import and also sell them to Ghanaians who are qualified to own weapons. And so, if anybody went through the process, even and go and spend bring in weapons for sale. And the law and
Hello, Mr. Asante. It's quite difficult hearing you. Can you please reposition yourself?
All right. Because of the break, can you hear me now? Is it Is it better?
It's quite better. It's quite better.
So what I'm saying is that because our laws make individuals to import weapons and sell them to the public, any individual who through the process and obtain payment from the Ministry of Interior is allowed to make those weapons. What I say is that I am not too sure of the issue of private effort.
Well, that's what we are told by the Ghana Police Service on their release on their Facebook page. They said that this man or the importer had a license to do so, and this was for private use, and that's what a lot of people are concerned about.
Well, probably. So what we know is that this person has a license, has a permit to bring in the weapon. I do not think that the ministry, would permit any individual to bring 1,500 private weapons.
As a Small Arms Commission, have you been following this story? Have you done your checks? Are you satisfied with what you have gathered? That's if you've gathered any.
What we do know is that the individual who has a permit is a legal consignment, and he is allowed so to do. As to whether we are concerned about weapons coming through the country and the country being used as a transit point, definitely yes. And so because the country is a transit state for landlocked countries around us, and therefore as they are transiting goods, it is well possible that at one point in time or the other, some miscreants may want to also use the food and bring in their illegal consignment. However, our security agencies are on the lookout, and it will be difficult for any such thing to go by without being detected. And that is why you see that this consignment also was detected by the customs.
Finally, Mr. Asante, let me find out, do you still have a challenge with tracking privately owned guns that are brought into the country? I remember the last time I spoke to your porter, he had issues. Many people, he said, about 1 million, if my memory serves me right, about 1 million have not been licensed, and they're in circulation. Do you still have that number? Is that still the case?
Well, I am unable to give you a specific number, anything aside what we put out the last time. What we do know is that as long as we have individuals who bring in weapons legally and are permitted to own things, there will be others who also want to implement the law.
All right.
The numbers you have also is that even when people have licensed their weapons for the first time and they do not go back to renew the license after 12 calendar months, that weapon becomes illegal in the hands of the person. And so use your medium to also ask individuals who have registered their weapons to go back and renew their license.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Johnson Asante is Programs Manager of the Small Arms Commission. He's been speaking to us about what happened on Friday and the concerns many of you have raised on Facebook. You're watching News Desk. Coming up shortly, we will go live to Liverpool and speak to George Addo Jr. on the EPL season that ended yesterday. And as you may know, 2 of Liverpool's players picked up the Golden Boot for the season. We'll bring you more, but coming up shortly is also Business Tuesday.